Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. It's Sunju. I wanted to make a video today, super short, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about my book journal. I have never done book journaling before. I started doing the book journal last year and I wasn't really sure of how I wanted to do it. I currently have a running Word document where I keep track of my physical TBR, the books that I want to purchase, the series that I want to read, what books in a series I still have to purchase. I also keep track of what books I've read during the month and what their ratings are. And then I also keep track of what books I DNF'd. I know that I've seen people can use things like Notion or have like the barcode scanner thing to put all of their books into a system, and I think I'm gonna try and do that. I still don't know if I would use something like Notion, but I do think I'm looking into using the Library Things or Labib, I think it's called, app, so that I can scan in all my books and keep track of them that way. I am just an organized girly. I love to have everything written down. I love to do lists. I just like keeping everything orderly, so I decided to do a book journal to help me keep track of all of the things I was doing bookish wise. So today I wanted to go ahead and give you a tour of my book journal. It's not super comprehensive. Last year, like I said, was the first year I did it and I didn't have any sort of plan. And this year's the first year where I did like spreads and watched videos for inspiration, and even then it's still very simple. I wish I was a lot more creative than I am, but unfortunately I love looking at cutesy, kitschy things. I'm just not super good at executing that kind of stuff. I'm more of like a writer organizer and not really like a crafty decorator. But alas, I tried my best, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay, excuse the setup. First, I wanted to show you guys some of the tools that I used. Again, I'm not super creative, so I was using these Zebra Kira Rich glitter highlighters. I use these in some of the spreads to like outline things. I think they're really pretty. They're super inky. You like push down. Sorry, I'm gonna have to like... You push down and that's how it releases the highlighter, and it's leaves like a glittery film over it, so I really liked using these. I also used a bunch of these like Sharpie highlighters with the smear guard. They're just like a normal highlighter, but they came in like a bunch of really cool colors. I don't have the rest of them. They're in a drawer somewhere and I didn't feel like grabbing them, but this is the one I use daily in the journal, and I used a bunch of other colors. And then lastly, I used these, I believe they're Sakura. Yeah, these Sakura Jelly Roll pens. I really love using these pens. I like doing like stationery type stuff. My friend and I will write letters to each other, and so I have a lot of like stationery items. And I really love these Jelly Roll pens because they're super smooth. I don't have a preference in like size for the pen, but I do like their regular Jelly Roll pen. So like this black one here is just a regular Jelly Roll pen, and the tip looks like this. And then for this other type of pen is the Jelly Roll Moonlight pen. This one, I don't necessarily know exactly what's different about it. I think it has like a little bit more of iridescence to it maybe. And then this last one I really like is the Jelly Roll like glittery pen type situation, but this one's a little click top, so I really like that one. And that's pretty much everything I used. And for the journal itself, it's pretty beat up. It's kind of like dirty and has like a lot going on, so ignore that. But I just got it from Five Below. I really liked the pink gingham on it because pink is one of my favorite colors, and I just thought it was super cute. The inside is lined, but I think that once I use up this one, next time I do a book journal, I would prefer to use a dotted one. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into what it looks like. Okay, so here's the journal. Now that it's up close, you can see how gross it is. Sorry. On the inside, I can show you a little bit of like how I was doing my book journaling. So it just has these ideas for like my YouTube channel and then my monthly TBR. And then as I read things, I would just write like the book that I read, the rating, and then like a bunch of notes about it. And I did this for every book that I read in the month. I wasn't sure at that point whether I was going to actually do a YouTube or whether I was going to just have this as like a reading hobby to keep track of the books that I've read. But I ended up obviously making my YouTube channel, and I don't utilize these reviews because I haven't done a wrap-up video. I'm still thinking of doing a wrap-up video for the year. I have it here as a mid-year wrap-up. I'm still thinking of doing a wrap-up video for the year, and I read, I think, 40 books this past year. So I wasn't sure if I should do an entire video where I do like one sentence or if I should just do only the top books that I read. I'm not sure, but I do want to get that out because it's January. So this is the first month that I started actually toying around with doing something else. I wrote all of the books I wanted to read, my September TBR, and then I gave a prediction for what I thought it would rate it, and then I gave like the actual ratings, which was kind of fun to do. And I also did a fall TBR. I put a little checkbox next to the pictures that I printed out of the book and then the rating if I finished it. As you can see, I did not do that well with my fall TBR, and I still continued with just the regular reviews for my November one. I didn't do it for October. I did the same thing for November. Then I don't believe I did one for December either. And so we got into the end of the year, and then here is my new book journal. Again, not super creative, so please don't come for me. This is just my 2025 book journal. I only used ideas from one video, and I'll try to find it so I can link it below to give that person credit because I like their spreads. I did some very similar spreads. I don't know if I made them like exactly identical because I can't remember what the video exactly had in it, but I did take a ton of inspiration from it because it was like 100 different book journal spread ideas. So here's the title page. Starting off, I have this daily tracker. I took this from the video and I just did January through December at the top and then the days of the month down at the bottom. It's kind of janky. Again, I think it would have been better if this was a dotted notebook and not a lined notebook, but the concept is just that for every day that I read, I put in this highlighter dot, and then for every time I completed a book, I put in another green highlighter dot. I might need to pick a different color because it's kind of hard to see there on the 5th and 6th is when I completed the book, so I might need to pick a different color, but so far that's just kind of what I have. My next page is my 2025 books read list, and I've only read 2 books so far this year. I'm reading my 3rd one right now, but it's really hard to read more than just a few chapters at a time because I'm super busy. But I have a goal of reading 40 books again this year, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. So I ended up just making the spread go down to 46 and then leaving this blank page in case I do go over that. I don't think I will, but I just wanted to be sure. This page here on the left is my 2025 anticipated reads. It's kind of hard to see the glitter pen on top of the highlighter. And I just made these check boxes in different colors, and I'll check them off as I read these. But these are the books that are coming out this year so far that I've seen that I would like to read. If you're interested in seeing a video on my anticipated reads, then I'm going to be filming that, so stay tuned, I guess. And then this next page is my 2025 TBR. These are books that have all come out already. I do want to read some of the anticipated reads this year, obviously, but I wanted my TBR to be books that I already have or books that I have been wanting to have and read for a long time. So some of these books at the top I have already, and then these 4 books down here I don't own, and I would like to buy them so I could read them. I know it's a really small TBR, but I don't read a lot, and I feel like this is already a ton on top of like my physical TBR, which I want to get through because I have about like 70 books on my physical TBR. So I truthfully don't want to buy a ton of books this year. I think I only have 11 books that I'm planning on buying this year, like in total, and I'm hoping to stick to that because I really want to get through my physical TBR. But this is the books that I absolutely want to read this year. Even if I don't read anything else, I want to read these ones. This page here is my series tracker. The green highlighted dot just shows that I've read it. So I'm currently reading the 3rd Inheritance Games book. I want to finish the 2nd Truly Devious book this year. I just finished Chestnut Springs, and if you haven't seen it, I have a reading vlog on my channel from the final book in the series, Hopeless, that I just finished reading. I haven't started Rose Hill or Gold Rush Ranch, but now that I'm finished Chestnut Springs, I do want to start these 2 because I love Elsie Silver. And then I am almost done with Heartstopper. I have the 5th book already, and I just need to read it. And then the 6th book, I believe, comes out this year. And then the next couple spreads were just like fun things I wanted to try. I've seen a lot of people do these A to Z challenges in the BookTube space, so I wanted to give it a try. And I just did the alphabet. It's, again, super simple. I've only read 2 books, so there's only 2 books on my challenge right now. But I hope to get a lot of those filled out. Then I have something that I made up. It's this genre TBR. I don't read a lot of different genres besides just like romance and literary fiction. So this year I wanted to challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone and read a book from a lot of the popular genres, even if I'm not into them. So I ended up picking all these books that are on my physical TBR, so I already own them and I don't have to go out and purchase anything new. But I have a romance book, a literary fiction book, a historical fiction, a sci-fi book, a mystery thriller, a nonfiction book, a young adult book, and then a fantasy book. And I'm really excited to get through this because I think it will introduce me to a lot of new things that I haven't read before. And that's always fun to me as a reader. The next page I have here is actually the last like general spread, and that's my book bingo spread. I made this myself by just like I literally Googled book bingo pages, and then I looked at Google Images and just compiled some of the ones I liked and then wrote in some of my own. It's kind of hard to see, but it says here, book cover with your favorite color, author's debut novel, book that takes place on vacation, book with one word title, author who has same initials as me, first book in a series, read a bestseller, book with 400 plus pages, a book that has been adapted into like a TV or a movie, a memoir, a book about writers or writing, book with flowers on the cover, a romantasy, a book published in 2025, a book about mental health, and a book set during a holiday. So I don't know how much of this I'm gonna fill out, but the idea of finding books that fit within this or reading a book and being able to come back and then check it off my bingo seems really fun. And that brings me into my monthly spreads. I decided to keep this idea from before. This is what I really liked. I told you I'm like an organized girly. I have some video ideas on the top. I write down a lot of ideas and then I don't ever really get to them because I don't film that much, but this year I want to be a lot more consistent. So hopefully some of these I will be filming, and then I have my January TBR, and the next ones is just kind of like the reviews. So these are the 2 books I've read already this year. This is the 3rd book I'm reading right now, and I just wanted to write like my rating and then a little blurb about what I think. And I think this is more organized, and I think these pictures right here are helpful for me better than what I was doing before, which is just these reviews with the name at the top, because I used to have to like flip through to try and find what book I was talking about. Now I just have these big pictures so I can easily locate it. And I plan on doing that for the rest of the year. I do think that next year I'll just switch to a dotted journal even if I haven't finished this one, because doing the lines is really difficult when you're trying to like get grids and precise spacing and things. So that's pretty much everything. Okay guys, sorry about the lighting. It's middle of January in the Midwest, so I lost the light pretty quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my video today. I know it was a pretty short one, but I just wanted to show you what my book journal looked like. I know it's not super involved, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who can relate that we're just not super creative, or maybe we just don't have the time and we have very simple spreads that aren't super crafty, but I think that's okay too. I do think that reading and journaling and any other sort of like hobby that you do that's crafty, honestly, any hobby in general should make you happy and feel like relaxed when you're doing it. So if it stresses you out to try and think of super creative journals, then don't do it. I definitely don't, because it stresses me out. So I just wanted to share what I had going on, and hopefully you guys maybe found some inspiration, or if not, just enjoyed hearing me talk or going through my journal with me. So that is all from me. I hope to have a video to you guys soon about the books that I read last year. I'm still deciding whether I want to do like a 1-sentence review of all the books that I read last year, or if I want to just do top few books that I did. I guess you guys will find out when I post that video. Thank you again so much for watching. If you like me or you like my video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here, and I will see you again in the next one. Okay, bye!